Hello everybody, welcome to Red Tool House. Today we are headed up to camp and we're going to try to install a wood burning stove so we can have some heat up there to continue to work through the winter. The big question will be, can we get it installed so we don't freeze when we sleep tonight? Cam's driving, Kelly's with us. Say hi, Cal.
Hey, Cal.
And then Timber's with us. Say hi, Timber. So a little bit of snow on the ground, and we're not even at elevation yet, so we may have a nice little snowpack when we get up. But we'll take y'all along with us. We made it!
We made it.
Nice and cozy in here, isn't it?
It's perfect.
Can see your breath. See my what? All right, so we got up to camp here. First thing we did was, of course, clean everything out. Last time you saw this, it was full of construction material, so we got that cleaned out, put most of the scraps on the deck. We got some stuff upstairs. I bought some hardybacker board, Durock, to obviously be a fire barrier there. And of course, it's not going to be that big. We'll cut it down when we're ready to see exactly what size we need. But Dad's putting our wood burner together. And that's a tiny little wood burner. So, if you're wondering where I got this wood burner, I actually did some research and reached out to Northwoods Fabrication. And they're in, I believe they're in Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota. So I reached out to them and asked...
They have hot dishes.
Yeah, they have hot dishes and meat raffles up in Minnesota. So reached out to them and asked them about the size. See, the thing I was concerned about and what I'm familiar with is in such a small space like this, as well insulated as it's going to be, it's not yet, but as it's going to be, then if you have too big of a wood burner, then you run yourself out, or you have to dampen it down so much that you could get creosote buildup and all those type of things. So this one is rated up to 500 square feet, which is more than what we have here, both floors combined. So we think that's going to work, and I really like the way this is built. And when we get it set up, I'll give you a close look. And I paid for this. They didn't send it to me for free, anything like that. I paid full price for this. But full price was less than $500. So it's pretty cool. And what's going to be interesting is all the equipment we need to safely install a chimney on the outside of the building is twice the price as the wood burner. So what you have to deal with now with code and all that. But we'll detail as we get in it. As Dad gets the legs set up, then we're going to, of course, do a single wall pipe up and out the wall, and then we'll do the insulated pipe all the way up above the roof line. And that's the adapter that goes into our piece of pipe that we'll have to cut. Yep. Okay, so now we need a hole on. No, we need our bracing in. Well, so I cut a hole in the wall, put the bracing in first.
I do the bracing.
Do the bracing?
Well, no. I think I cut the hole a lot easier to get to.
Yeah, I agree.
And then we'll make the bracing fit the flange.
It doesn't matter as long as it needs to be flush with the outside of the building, doesn't it? I bet.
I think so.
I'm gonna have to screw it from the outside though, because I can't get it from this side.
Yeah, that's right.
Snug up against that outside piece.
Do you have some crumpets? Just don't distort it. Maybe.
Come on, crackhead. Now you want to hand me that flange?
Put it on the inside instead of the outside?
No, it just wasn't going over a lip. It was bending it down a little bit.
over the kiln.
No.
And here's a good draw.
See that?
There's a good draw. See how it's blowing it? It's sucking that wind in so fast. Let me go get some more wood.
Gracious.
You gonna have their mattresses?
Yeah,
You bring the pump?
yeah.
Good, I don't want to.
What are we in?
All right. All right. Well, obviously there's a big gap from when we started the video and then when you saw the first fire and now. But in the morning, I'm going to detail all that we have. We've had some comedy of errors, and it all comes back on me. Buy this stuff, lay it out first before you before you drive 4 hours to put it all together. So fortunately, the local hardware store had some of the pieces we needed, and so there'll be a lot that I'll be taking back when I get back to town. But you can see Kelly's got we got our little Christmas light dealie set up here. Got a fire going. So outside, I think it's below, it's around 20 degrees is what we're thinking. And we got a pretty good wind kicking. So there's no insulation in this building yet. You can see it's all just studded walls. So the only thing it has is house wrap and the T111 on the outside. And we've got a window cracked here because we're getting pretty warm. What's the temperature right now, Kel?
59.
So it's 59 in here, and I've been hauling firewood, so that's why I'm hot. But here, we'll show you just how redneck this has turned out, because obviously it's so cold we can't use our outdoor shower and vermicomposting system. So I did a makeshift. I don't know if you can see that. I may have to get a light here. Let me grab my light. It's kind of bright. I did a makeshift composting toilet here on our landing because we're not staying upstairs. In fact, we just took some of our insulation and laid it across, Cam did, laid it across the opening, and that's really been great in keeping our heat go out. So little composting toilet there, that's our sawdust, and then just a little makeshift shower curtain, seal it off so can do the biz. Timber's kicking it here by the bed. And we got our queen cot with our queen size mattress. Cam's kicking it on the single size cot with his air mattress. And then this is our little makeshift kitchen right here. It's a mess, obviously, because we've got tools and food and all that scattered about. But the fire's doing great. Really happy with this little stove. I mean, it's amazing how well it's doing with the size that it is. But like I said, in the morning, we actually didn't get the chimney completely finished. We got it up above the roof line, so we were safe, but we still got to tie in some strapping and put the cap on it and do all those type of things. But I'll detail that in the morning when it's daylight and we're not on a 20-foot ladder trying to break our necks.
You all right? Yeah. Here we go.
Cut it small. You think we'll cut that?
I'm just going to cut till I pull it to get out of the way.
Now you're in here. We didn't want the tree to fall on the buddy. Like you understand.
All right, so we got it in place and it's working well. Used it all day today, and temperature hasn't gotten above freezing. Sun came out, it was nice. Got the cabin up to, we were in the mid 70s. In fact, had to open some windows and damp it down a little bit. So it's really doing well. Really happy with how that stove is produced. Step inside real quick. Real hot in here. So we got a fire smolder. We're getting ready to head out, but we're going to be back next week. But this little stove just did a number. So it's still, just with that amount of fire left, it's still keeping the cabin fairly warm. I got to get some ash tools and some things like that. Probably what we're going to do at some point is build a lift area, like a shelf to put our wood storage underneath. We'll put our Durock on top, but we'll get this sitting about that high to catty corner it, and just to make it a little easier when I got up in the middle of the night to stoke it back up. I'm down here on my hands and knees stoking it up, so we want to get it higher there. So the issue ran into last night, of course, was we didn't get everything ready until after dark, so going out to cut firewood after dark, because everything needed to be shorter. I've got tons of firewood laying around here, but it's all campfire size, right? So the smaller wood burner, I needed to buck up some smaller stuff. So I go over to the pile over here. This pile's been laying here for a while, and there was a nice piece of white oak, hard as a rock, thought it would be good stuff. Cut it up in the dark, brought it in, and when I put it on the fire last night, once it had thawed out, realized that it was so full of water and it was punky, but it had frozen, so it was rock hard. So before we leave today, we decided we were going to get a stockpile of wood. So that'll get us through our next visit up here, and then we'll obviously just be able to keep cutting and stacking, getting it into the house so it can stay dry. All right, so like I said, we bought that wood burner with our own money, but so I'm not sponsored, but I did talk to the manufacturer up there. Really nice guy, really neat, small business, American made, cuts everything on CNC, welds look really solid, and he actually gave me an affiliate link. So if you want to look into a stove, he's got 3 different styles for different size tiny houses or smaller cabins. So check that out. And if you use the code, of course, then that just helps support our channel. But really anxious to continue to use this, really excited by how well this is built and how well it did here these last 24 hours. But we come up next week, we're going to give it a run as well and see how it goes. All right, so it's the following weekend where we came back up. It was a little cool today, but not as cool as it was last time, right? So I think we were 40 degrees inside the cabin here. That's why we don't keep stuff here that could freeze, because we don't keep constant heat on it. Dog always drinks when I start the camera. But what I wanted to do is go ahead and build a platform to lift our stove up, because when I get in the middle of the night to stoke the fire, I'm down on my hands and knees trying to tend the fire. And of course we want to do wood storage underneath that. We want to maximize as much space as possible. So I'm just taking some measurements right now. We're going to make a triangular corner shelf here. The stove weighs nothing, so that's a good thing about that. So it doesn't have to be super heavy duty. Make a shelf, put it on there. We'll take our Durock, cut it. So of course there's a fire break, and then we'll even cut the Durock and place it in on the sides here. So we have a fire break there as well. But just gonna get some measurements and we'll see how high we want to make this. So work somehow got thwarted by snack time. I'm not quite sure how that worked in, but so got measurements made, and what looks like a end of a gable here is going to be my shelf that we made. So I'm going to dry fit it to see how that goes, and that'll give us an idea of height and allow me to figure out my piping and stuff. I can't put the Durock directly on that. This Durock is kind of flimsy. So I think I'm going to put a piece, I've got some OSB or T111 left over, so I'm going to cut down some T111 to that size and put it on there, and that should take care of handling any flex or any weight that we'd have. But I'm going to dry fit that and see how it goes. All right, so see that mark on that middle stud of those three clipped together. You want this to be, the top of this to be there. That mark. Good tight, as they say in Germany. Yeah, that's what I like. If it'll hold me, it'll hold the stove. So I'm way more of a load than that thing is. My coals are hotter though, baby. Okay, so that's a little high. The mark I made on the wall was the height of the stove, not the height of the shelf. That I like it for the wood burner to be right here so I can put wood in. But Kelly warms water and stuff on top, so she doesn't stand on her tiptoes to even see how the pot's doing. So she wants me to lower it. So let's take all those screws back out. All right, can I get some help this time? Do this right. I was getting so excited with all the wood storage I was going to be able to have under there. Well, that's terribly disappointing how low that is.
No, there's plenty of...
Oh, I'm so sad.
Now, you might want to run mine and make sure they're all in.
Oh, I trust all your work, Kelly. Kick the bucket. All right.
No, that's so good.
Excrement. All right, so repurposing some of our T111, of course, since it is plywood, didn't want to waste any of that, but I didn't have any pieces that fit my angle perfectly, so I had to cut it into two pieces. This will work. Get that screwed down, and then we'll put some of this Durock fire retardant or fire block on it. Nice. All right, well, Kelly didn't realize it's kind of dark in here. I think she
realized
you didn't realize that. I'm mincing words now. Kelly absolutely loves Christmas lights, don't you, Kel? She loves Christmas lights. Although she doesn't like multicolored lights, right?
Right.
So comment below who's right or wrong. I love multicolored lights. I think it shows diversity in this crazy mixed up world.
Oh, God.
Kelly is a white light supremacist, so comment below if you think Christmas lights can only be white or they could be
I
multicolored.
didn't say they could only be white. That's just what I prefer.
So Kelly only prefers, if you want to have your multicolored lights, you just be segregated over here.
No.
Can y'all see me? So my battery just died. Wow, you can see Cameron. Mr. Orange Shirt. So my battery died. So as I was saying, Kelly prefers white Christmas lights. So Cam and I surprised her this week by going out and buying some Christmas lights for the camp. And so we got her the white soft LEDs and we've put them up around. So we're going to try to wow her here. Cam, take over camera, please. So, are you ready, Kelly?
Yes.
Give me a drum roll. Here we go. Joy to the world. It's a beauty, Clark.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool.
That is so cool.
dad taught me everything I know about interior illumination.
The lights are twinkling, look.
I know, Kelly, and thanks for noticing. Pretty cool.